Hello, my dear Pisces friends. This is Maxine Taylor, and I have your astrological forecast for August of 2022. But first, I want to share one of my specials with you. This is a very important time for so many people from a financial perspective. We are living in a time worldwide when people need a reading more than ever, but they can afford it less than ever. And so I'm once again offering a special. And by that, I mean, excuse me, a discount on my readings, the 6-month forecast and 12-month forecast, as well as the birth chart. And in addition, I'm offering a whole new bag because you all have asked me for this. This is an option for you if you would like to do it. Now, you know, I do all of my readings on video, and I send you the video. And I do it myself. The newest enticement is to have a Zoom session between you and me, just the two of us, during which time I give you your reading and you can ask me questions on the spot. Okay? If this appeals to you, please take advantage of it. It's at a special price also, and you'll find all this information on my website, MaxineTaylor.com. Okay, let's talk about your gorgeous forecast, shall we? I think we'll start with Jupiter. Jupiter is the greater benefic. It brings blessings, it brings money, it brings the good stuff. Jupiter to me is God's law, while Saturn is man's law. And so here is Jupiter, the greatest good guy of the zodiac in your second house of money. Need I say more? This is like a gift from heaven. Now, this is your solar chart. So you want to look, of course, at your natal chart as well. Blend the two and you have the whole picture, which is why I'm offering specials naturally. Jupiter in the second house brings money. It brings all the good stuff. It brings tangible assets. The only problem right now is that Jupiter is retrograde, and that means it is not delivering up to its potential. Don't you worry. It's going to go direct in a few months. I will let you know when that occurs, because that is, you'll see it, you'll feel it. That is when Jupiter smiles on you, on all Pisceans. And so just hang in there, okay? Now, let's look at Mars. Mars is the warrior. Wherever Mars is what we fight with and fight for. And wherever Mars is, comes first to us. It's in your third house of ideas, and so your ideas come first to you. You may find that you're more argumentative. Maybe that's a good thing for you. Maybe you have held back and you've been frustrated. So don't squelch it. Just count to 10 if you possibly can, and then say what you want to say. Hopefully, a lot of the impatience or anger, depending on where you're coming from, has dissipated, okay? And if not, so be it. So Mars is in the third house. Your ideas are very important to you and you want them respected. On the 20th, Mars moves into your fourth house of home, family, and real estate. And so this can be you involved with buying or selling your home, renovating it, or going toe to toe with a family member. And that family member puts themselves first. And it might be that you say, I'm not going to be putting you first. To really function on your highest level, Pisces, you have to put yourself first so that you can be the glorious star that you are. All right, Venus is the lesser benefic. Jupiter and Venus are the two good guys of the zodiac. Now, I don't know how much lesser Venus is because it brings beauty, it brings love, it brings money, it brings happiness. Come on, it's wonderful. It's in your fifth house of fun and games. And that fifth house is also children and projects of art. Venus is art and beauty. Your children will be very loving, and your pet children, your dogs, your cats, your horses, will also fall in the area, or can also fall in the area of children. Because if you are an animal lover, you just adore animals. On the 11th, Venus moves into your sixth house of work, health, and service. It's beautiful. It helps your health. It helps your job. And it helps you enjoy your daily activities. I think that's marvelous. On the 11th is when it moves into that beautiful sixth house. Now, the yellow planet is the sun, the giver of life, the center of our universe. Okay? So with the sun in the sixth house, I hope you're in a leadership position on the job. Now, this is career, 10th house. Sixth house is the job. It's the actual tasks involved. And you can lead, and people will love you for it. And they will turn to you because they'll see you as one of their own. On the 22nd, the sun will move into that seventh house of partnership. And this means that the center of your life is other people, which is great because in their lives, they are the center of their world. So you're both in love with the same person. I mean it. Other people, very, very important to you when you get out, when you're out there with them. And they will put themselves first, and you, being the loving, giving, generous sign that you are, will happily give them your attention, and you'll both be on the same team. Don't you love it? Now, Mercury, the blue planet, is our mind and our mouth. It's what we think about. Keep in mind that Mercury is getting ready to move into the shadow of the retrograde on August 20th. And when Mercury moves into the shadow of the retrograde, it feels as if Mercury is already retrograde. Mercury won't go retrograde until September, and I'll keep you up on that month by month, of course. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year, so there are 3 times when before the retrograde, Mercury is in the shadow of the retrograde, and after the retrograde is over, the minute it's over, boom, Mercury is back in the shadow, but it's the shadow after the retrograde. And I have found that I get my greatest projects done when we're in the second shadow of the retrograde. We're supposed to use the retrograde Mercury to tie up the loose ends of unfinished business, but what I've experienced is things are so discombobulated that you can't get it done, especially if you have to interact with other people, because they are feeling the same effects and everybody's kind of confused. When Mercury goes direct, meaning it comes out of retrograde, that's the time that it moves into the shadow. And that's when I get those unfinished tasks done. Have you found this with you as well? Because I have found it with me. And I'm always grateful to get anything done when Mercury is either starting to go retro or finished being retro. All right. So Mercury's in your sixth house of work, and you're thinking about your work. There's a lot more communication on the job, which is going to be fun for you. And on the fourth, Mercury moves into the seventh house of other people. And so whether it's sales or a business relationship, in other words, or a personal relationship, the other people in your life are putting themselves first, and you're happy to join that bandwagon. All right. And then on the 25th, Mercury goes into the eighth house, and you're really changing your mind about a lot of things. And you're not necessarily sharing your ideas with the world. That's okay, because the eighth house is secrets. The eighth house is out with the old, in with the new. And so your thinking will undergo a change when this happens, which I think is great. So on the 11th of August, we have a full moon in 19 Aquarius. Find 19 Aquarius in your birth chart, because the full moon in your full moon chart, the solar chart, says that that full moon is in the hidden, behind the scenes area of the chart, the spiritual service area, which is quite lovely. But with a full moon in the 12th house, you want your solitude, you want your privacy, and you don't want anybody banging on your door asking you, are you there? You want to be left alone. 2 weeks later, when you've gotten all the information from your subconscious mind that you've needed, we have a new moon on the 27th in 4 Virgo. And this new moon is in your 7th house of other people. So the full moon has you pulling back, and the new moon has you getting out there. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. And on the new moon, that's when energy starts growing. Yes. So, don't you love that forecast? So Pisces, I hope you have a marvelous August, and join me next month when once again I take a look at your solar forecast. Until then, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now.